In today's video I will show you everything you need to start oil painting. First, let's talk about surface you should use. There's a lot of different surfaces out there. So far I only used canvas and sketchbook. So first, canvas. I love canvas the most because it's very sturdy to work on. Also, it's great if you are planning to sell or hang your artwork somewhere, as you don't need to buy any frames. They can get very expensive, but you don't need the expensive ones. I use these ones from Amazon, and for 5 pieces you only pay £14. You might be asking how to start painting on the canvas. Well, I'll be showing you exactly how to prepare canvas later in this video. Sketchbook. If you are a beginner, I recommend sketchbook. It's the cheapest way to start. If you don't plan to sell or hang your art just yet and just want to improve in oil painting, definitely go for sketchbook. As beginner you just need to start and practice a lot, so this is definitely best choice. Just make sure when you buy yours you get the one with a thick paper, such as 110 pounds or higher. I use sketchbook a lot to practice portraits. I love it because it's small, so I can paint portrait in one session and I don't need to spend too much time on one painting. For 2 of them 100 pages in total you pay £60-95 on Amazon. I will leave all the materials that I use in the description below so you can check it out. To prepare canvas or sketchbook for oil painting, you just need to add 1 layer of gesso and let it dry. If the surface is a bit rough, just sand it with sandpaper until it's smoother. So now that you have surface to paint on, you will need some paints. There is a lot of different oil paints and it can get confusing onto which you should buy. I will make it very simple for you. There is a professional grade paint, such as this one here, and a student grade paint like this one. If you are a beginner, then just buy this student grade paint. It's a great paint and it's not expensive at all. You might be wondering what the difference between the two are. Well, the differences I found is the professional has more pigment and also it stays wet longer. That's it. The colors you will need to start paint are only primaries. I recommend titanium white, a big tube of 200 milliliters, cadmium yellow, cadmium red, ultramarine blue, Mars black, burnt umber, and that's it. So if you decide to buy these 5 student grade paints, now the total goes to £39.83. So next you will need is a palette. I tried using different palettes for oils, but I found the best one to be palette paper. It's very cheap, easy to clean, you don't need to clean the palette each time, just tear the page off and use the next one. I used to use this palette for oil painting, and as you can see this would be a nightmare to clean each time. I wish I would have switched to palette paper sooner, it would have saved me a lot of cleaning, and I don't like to clean. So now if we add palette paper we are at $45.97. So the next big thing is brushes. I like using synthetic brushes for oil painting. I always use this set because it has all the brushes I need, ranging from large to small. Also has detailed brushes and everything you need to start. I highly recommend these brushes for oil or acrylic paints. As you can see, this pack contains 3 flats, 3 filberts, 2 angle and 4 round brushes. That's all the brushes you will need to start oil painting. So if we add this, our total comes to $58.26 so far. Now we have covered the most important things to start oil painting. There is one more thing necessary for you to start, and also some accessory things you might consider buying that I will talk about. Last thing you will need is gesso. Gesso is used to prepare your surface for painting. This will make your surface smoother and also less absorbent. You can buy this big bottle of 1 liter that will last you for a year or more for £9 on Amazon, which is a good value. So that brings our total to £65, and that's all you really need to start oil painting. Now let's talk about some things you might consider buying that are not necessary. So first, varnish. When you finish your oil painting and the paint starts to dry out, it will become less vibrant and kind of dull looking. Using varnish will enhance your painting and also protect it. Also, it's so satisfying, but it's not necessary for you to get it. So I will leave that up to you. This is an example of how big difference does varnish make. I use it for every painting I make because I love how it brings out the color. If you decide to buy it, I recommend you get this one here, which is Gamvar Varnish by Gamblin, because your paintings only need to be touch dry for you to be able to varnish them. Unlike other varnishes which you will need to wait a long time until the painting is fully dry before you apply the varnish. Another thing that is not necessary is solvents. Solvents are used to clean your brushes and thin out your paint. I didn't use any kind of solvents for a long time because there was a lot of them that are toxic. But recently I started to use this one, which is toxic free. But I only use it for painting big backgrounds so my paint flows better and I can get better coverage. But again, this is not necessary, but something you might consider using. If you decide to purchase this, I definitely recommend you getting the one that I'm using because it's toxic free, so you don't need to worry about any toxic stuff getting onto your hands or anything like that, you know? If you decide not to buy it, you can clean your brushes with soap and paper towel. Oil painting can get very messy and paint can get anywhere on your hands, on your clothes, so I therefore recommend getting some gloves, and also you will need a paper towel to clean your brushes. Another thing is palette knives. I bought palette knives and I never use them. Usually I mix my paints using brush, and also I paint more neat, realistic style of painting, so I don't really have use for them. But if you plan to do more expressive art with thick paint, then definitely get yourself some palette knives. A lot of people use them to mix their color, but I don't think it's necessary, and you can definitely just use your brush like I do. And that's it. I think I have covered everything you need to know about things you need to start oil painting. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Hope this video was any help to you. See you in the next one.